All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. We have all kinds of things going on with Syria, in addition to the civil war, which we've all become so accustomed to. Joining us right now, I'm happy to say, is Lieutenant Colonel Rick Francona, retired from U.S. Air Force. He was an intelligence officer, Middle East expert extraordinaire. Used to watch him on NBC all the time. Hello, Lieutenant. How are you, sir? Hello, Colonel, I should say. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good to talk to you. Okay, so we have all these scenarios cropping up now, in addition to the ongoing civil war, and let's talk a little bit about these missiles, these Russian missiles that were supposed to have been delivered to Syria. We had John Kerry coming out today saying that the planned delivery would not be helpful, quote unquote, to peace in Syria or to the region or to Middle East peace plan talks. As far as you know, has Russia made good on this delivery to Syria of these sophisticated surface-to-surface missiles, or is this still something that's in progress?
It's in progress. I mean, they purchased these a long time ago. They've just put off the delivery because of the situation there. The Russians now are threatening to deliver the missiles, and I think as we get closer to a possible no-fly zone, you're going to see Syria pressuring the Russians to go ahead and deliver those systems that they've paid for. From what I'm reading, and I read both the Arab and the English press, it looks to me like the earliest they could get them there would be this fall. But if these missiles are delivered, this is a game changer.
In what I understand that's what they've been saying, but in what respect? Because it gives Syria enormous capabilities against Israel's air superiority as well. Correct?
Yeah, correct. You know, the Syrians have a lot of air defenses. They put a lot of money into that system that they have, but it's old. It really hasn't been upgraded in decades. I mean, they've made minor changes here and there, but this is a qualitative improvement. This is virtually state-of-the-art air defense weaponry. The Russians have always built really great air defense stuff, and this is about as good as it gets. And if they get these into Syria, it will put the northern half of Israel at risk.
Now, if these are about to be delivered, as we've seen Israel do with missiles allegedly from Iran to Hezbollah, will it be incumbent upon them to strike those missiles before they get there or as they get there, much as they have done in the past inside Syria? And of course, then you have Assad's threat that any Israeli strike, he'll start lobbing missiles that he already has at Tel Aviv and other Israeli cities.
Yeah. Well, the Syrians don't have the capability to really take any offensive action against the Israelis. The Israelis have their own defenses, and Assad's kind of tied up right now with trying to keep himself in power.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's an issue. Will the Israelis take this out? Netanyahu has pretty much flat out told Putin that if you deliver these missiles, we will not allow them to become operational. These represent a real threat to Israel's ability to keep track of what's going on over there. And if they see these coming in, they will take them out before they go operational.
So in addition to what that means for Assad, as far as, and you said he's busy with other things, but the slap in the face, if you will, to Assad, what does Russia then take that personally, in a sense? I mean, if Netanyahu's told this to Putin and Putin goes ahead and delivers them and Israel takes them out before Syria could really get them, does Russia then get involved or consider it some kind of act of aggression against them in any sense?
Yeah, see, this is the problem. This is starting to resemble 1973. If you remember the 1973 war, we started to resupply Israel. The Russians put all of their forces on alert. They were going to intervene in the Middle East. We were going to intervene in the Middle East, and this was going to spiral out of control. And I think this has the capability of leading to that confrontation because the Russians are backing the Syrians, and if we declare a no-fly zone, they may feel that they have to intervene on behalf of the Syrians. We're approaching a very critical time in this right now. Right about the same time, Secretary Kerry is trying to get the two sides together in Geneva to sit down and talk. Hopefully, something will come out of that. I don't hold much hope out for that. But this has the potential to become once again back into the superpower confrontations of decades ago.
Right, and just one more on the Russian front here. We also have a report today that Russia's MiG aircraft maker said that it plans to sign a new agreement to ship at least 10 fighter jets to Syria, which just adds to all of this.
Oh, and this would be another qualitative increase for the Syrians because right now they have the MiG-29. That's what they're talking about. But the version they're talking about exporting to Syria is a ground attack version. It's a multi-role fighter, and that gives them really improved air capability. And it is air power that is crippling the Syrian opposition.
And we're talking right now with Lieutenant Colonel Rick Francona here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Let me ask you this. Of course, Assad gave an interview yesterday, was broadcast, said he's confident in victory. We had John McCain there on Memorial Day, and there's all kinds of contradictions as to whether or not he met with a rebel leader who was involved in kidnappings and other heinous acts. Where are we right now? I mean, do you think it's wise for the United States to be involved with organizing a no-fly zone or backing the rebels when the rebels are made up of so many different kinds of people, including Al-Qaeda?
Well, that's the problem. This is a problem that we helped create. By not getting involved early on and supporting a liberation movement or a freedom movement or the Free Syrian Army when it was a secular movement mostly made up of defected soldiers from the Syrian Army. Now you've got this massive influx of Islamists from all over the region, and this has morphed into something much beyond where I think it's salvageable right now. I can see a no-fly zone. If you remember when we went to Libya, the purpose of that was to stop the killing of civilians. We have 80,000 deaths in Syria, most of them, the overwhelming majority of them, civilians. So I could support a no-fly zone, but providing support to these disparate groups that now are overwhelmingly Islamist. And I watch this every day. And over the last probably 6 months, that has taken a much more strident Islamist tone. So who are we dealing with now? We're dealing with Al-Qaeda affiliates. We're dealing with Islamists, the Muslim Brotherhood, when we could be setting ourselves up for another Egypt. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Sounds exactly like Egypt. Rick, thank you so much. I hope you'll come back, sir. Anytime, Steve.